Maritime Made on Eastlink TV, presented by Nova Scotia Business Inc., because great things are happening.
At Kohltech, windows are made in many shapes and sizes. In fact, they produce up to 1,200 windows a day at their manufacturing facility in Debert, Nova Scotia. If a custom-shaped window is what you're looking for, the design drawings are first produced in the Research and Development Department. AutoCAD files are produced to scale, and work orders for standard shape window designs are created using Kohltech's production software program. To begin production, a crane system with large straps moves a supply of glass sheets slowly across the production floor. These massive sheets of glass are shipped in directly from glass manufacturers. This particular bundle weighs 4,000 pounds. The production worker is wearing Kevlar clothing to protect him in the event of an accident. To cut the glass panes, each sheet of glass is dropped onto an air table. The air blows upward from the table. The air that is trapped under the falling sheet of glass creates a cushion to keep the glass sheet from breaking. The glass cutting wheel scores the glass as it moves down the table and under the wheel. The glass moves down the table, and production workers manually apply pressure to snap out the glass shapes from the larger sheet. A glass cutting hand tool is used to remove the rounded glass shapes. Each pane of cut glass is gently moved onto a specially designed trolley as the cutting of the rest of the order continues.
On the trolley, the glass for each order is stored together in batches and can safely be moved around the production floor. The panes of glass are loaded onto the ermine line, where 2 or 3 panes will be put together to make double or triple pane IGUs, or insulated glass units. Inside a machine, they are spray washed with soap, followed by water rinses. Then they move under a blower to dry. One pane of glass moves onto an air table, where it's centered. A suction control arm secures the glass and moves it under a robotic arm that then applies the spacer. The spacer is the material that creates the space between the panes of glass. Spacer material is fed up through pulleys and into the applicator. Next, the pane with the spacer is placed on a vertical table, where the second pane of glass is pressed in place. If the window has a decorative grille, it's also added here. To ensure the spacer is well attached, the table is lowered and rollers move the insulated glass unit through the compression machine. The unit is placed under another robotic arm, where a seal is then applied around the entire unit. If a custom-shaped window is being made, the process of making insulated glass units is similar, but is done by hand. The spacer material is applied all around the pane of glass with a spacer gun. It's hot and sticky, so it adheres well to the glass. The pane with the spacer material is mounted on a vertical table, where a handmade specialty brass grill is added, and the second pane is pressed on top. The unit moves through the compression machine that sets the glue of the spacer to the panes of glass. And then a 370-degree sealant is applied by hand around the frame, leaving 2 corners open.
Here, argon gas is pumped into the cavity between the panes. Argon gas is denser than air and improves the energy efficiency of the window. A sensor on the top of the unit detects when the cavity is filled and the holes are plugged. The remainder of the sealant is then applied and the unit is ready for the next step. The decorative grills that are added to some windows can be made of many different materials and can also be painted any color. This grill is brass. The handmade grill must be precision made in order to fit inside the glass unit. It can take hours to make one. With careful measuring, each piece is cut, then verified against the template, confirming each angle and length until it slowly takes shape. The window frames are made out of vinyl material produced in a shape that is specially designed by Kohltech engineers. The production worker lays out the frame with rough cut lengths of vinyl and verifies the work order. The glazing stops, which will later hold the glass in place, are attached, and the fine cut of each vinyl piece is made. The frame is then heat welded together, one corner at a time. On this machine, a hot plate melts both ends of vinyl and fuses them together. Since the heat weld is still warm, a square is placed on top of the corner to keep it square while it cools. Once cooled, the frame is ready for the glass.
If a window frame design requires curved sides, the process starts with rough cut lengths of vinyl being heated in a convection oven. An internal stake is placed inside the vinyl so it doesn't get crushed while being shaped. On the bending table, where a specific angle has been set up in a jig, the heated vinyl is pulled into the jig and left to cool for 5 minutes. Once set, it's pulled through and the shape is ready to be welded into a frame. A brick mold surrounds the exterior of a window frame, and it's made on the production floor in the same way. A generous bead of silicone is run around the entire window frame, applying extra silicone to any joins. Then, the brick mold is set in place on the frame and hammered. It's a tight fit to keep the weather out.
Of course, no window is complete without the glass. So the glazing is the next step. On this shaped frame, the glazing stops are numbered and removed, and setting blocks are put in place. The glass is cleaned, then gently set in the frame. The setting blocks are adjusted, and silicone is applied around the glass. The glazing stops are gently tapped back in place, and the window is now complete.